Up next is this headline on Uche Jumbo, who talks about sexual assault in Nollywood. Okay, so I'm glad, someone of her stature and, someone of her influence has actually come out to say something about sexual assault because, this sexual assault issue has been recurring over time regarding celebrities and even in the States where there's the Me Too movement and everything. So for her to actually come out and talk about it openly, I think is very commendable. And she said she stood her ground at the time, and then not long after that, like 5 or 6 years later,
4 to 5 years later.
Sorry?
4 to 5 years later.
I saw 5 to 6 years later.
Oh, sorry about that.
Sorry?
Sorry about that.
So whether 4 to 5 years or 5 to 6 years, potato, after some time she became very, very famous and stuff. And I don't know, I think, what do they call it? Sexual allegations have been happening in the industry, not just even in Nollywood, I think from way back in time, because even I remember when women would tell their stories about, the MD saying, come and see me, so this has been happening from like way back in various industries, not just in Nollywood. But for her to come out and say it now is commendable, because some people wouldn't even bother.
Well, I mean, we've had some Nollywood actresses on this program, and when you ask them about that, they try to like shy away from it. But it's commendable that she's talking about it, but it's still on the same level people talk about it, like it happened. So who did it happen with? What step did you take, or what step should be taken against this person so it won't repeat itself? But we like to leave it at the table of, okay, once the women that are approached keep rejecting it, that these people will have a change of mind, or these men will have a change of mind and stop acting that way. And I mean, she mentioned something like that, but I don't know how long that would be. I don't know how long it will be till we get to the point where we're having our own Me Too movement in Nollywood. I don't know if that will ever happen, but I'm glad she's talking about it.
All right. Ife, before you give us your take, I just quickly want to ask Elsie, do you think she should have mentioned the person's name?
That's a personal decision for her. If she
because
thinks
the way
she's
you said
ready
it,
to,
I thought,
I
felt
feel
like you
like
were blaming.
we are all in that space already. Like I could come out and tell you, oh, I went to this place to get a job, or maybe not even mention the place, but just say, oh, I went here and this guy told me, see me later. I mean, the truth is, I've actually experienced what she just talked about. There was a point in my life where I felt Nollywood could actually work for me, and then he was of the opinion.
Oh, so you have a failed career in acting.
Oh, if I didn't say that.
Okay.
Are you going to tell us his name?
No, I'm not going to say his name. So I'm saying that we all need to get to that point where we probably need to call out these people directly and get them to really stop, or let them understand that even if they don't want to stop, they are taking a high risk of knowing that this person might really call you out and it's going to affect your career.
Yeah,
but if you keep just saying, oh, it happens, we all know it happens in almost every industry. So what exactly are we doing about it?
Elsie, the issue that I have with your point right now is that you're saying that, they should do this. Meanwhile, you yourself haven't done it.
I said we. I did not say they. While I was speaking, if you listen, I said we need to get to the point where we decide to actually call out these people and damn the consequences.
But we starts with I.
Goodness. But the we is not removing an I. I'm saying that we need to get to that point. I'm not saying I have gotten to the point. She has not gotten to that point.
Now I
so
understand.
we all need to get to that point.
Okay, all right. Ife.
Why you laughing?
He wants to get to that point.
I'm trying to get to Kumbo's spelling. It says we start with I. We start with W. Which one is I?
Elsie, did you understand? Elsie understood what I was
saying. Don't you know how
saying.
to spell?
We went to spell it,
Ife. Okay, so I like what Uche Jumbo did. And I like the fact that you started with, we've had some people on this set that would shy away from, or they will try to pretend like, oh, nothing like that happened, like it never happened. Like, we need to get it straight. Like, if it's happening, let us know. Let us call a spade a spade. And like you rightly said as well, it happens in every industry. It's not just in Nollywood. And the reason why it's more prominent in a place like Nollywood is because they are not using your certificates to give you a job. They are using your talents. They are using your... So it's different. It might even be lesser in other industries because right then, if you have a master's degree, you have a PhD, nobody will turn you down because you're going with your brains. I'm not saying Nollywood, you don't have to use your brain, but it's a different ball game because, so it's understandable that she's coming out to say this. And like you rightly said, and like he rightly said, she also said, let's start calling them out. She should start calling them out first. Let her take the first step. Take the first step, Elsie. You've been through it as well. Let's call out these fellas.
Sorry to cut in. Do you think they should actually call out the name of the person?
Yes, that's the only way we can effect change. You know I'm all about change.
No, but if they actually call out the name of the person, do you not think that might be like a smear on their character and on their person?
On their character
a
for being
smell
sex.
character now.
Yes, but they haven't yet mentioned the name. I'm saying is until they mention the
On whose
name.
character?
I'm
The
saying there's
victim's
already a
character.
smear
You see, that's
on
the
the
problem. The
character,
fact
not
that
the
we start thinking that the victim character will be smeared because she came out
Not
to
the
say...
not the
victim, saying the
Oh,
perpetrator.
yeah, the
The character
perpetrator.
is
Then
smeared
why?
already,
It's
just that
smeared.
those close to him, they don't have an idea and they'll probably keep falling into
Told you they
it.
don't have an idea.
Well,
No, some of
just
them may
saying.
not actually know until she actually comes out to say the person's name. Some people may not have,
So you are
have an
against,
idea.
you're against the victims mentioning
No,
the
it's
name.
not even that. I'm thinking that whether you mention the name or not, it's not going to make any changes or going to affect anyone per se, or even do anything really in terms of curbing the menace.
Oh, really? It's not going to do anything.
I don't
So
think it's going
what
to
do you
have any
suggest
effect.
would change?
I haven't thought that far. When I come to that point, or how did you say it, Elsie?
Then if you haven't thought that far, don't question people that have thought that are thinking that far, please.
No, they're not thinking that far because I'm thinking at the end of the day, it's not really going to make any changes.
No, you're already
really.
thinking that far because you're saying, oh, even if they call them out, it's not going to make any changes.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
what do you think will make the change?
Give
to
us a
curb
solution, yes.
this-
Yes. Suggest a
Okay,
solution.
all right. So let me think this through properly here and now. How many seconds do I have? Let's see.
5 seconds.
Oh, seriously?
It doesn't work that fast.
No, I actually work that fast. You just haven't, figured it out
No,
yet,
he thinks in
Elsie.
his
It's 5
sticks.
seconds
like that.
already.
Exactly.
So
Yes, no, you've not counted. You've got to count up to 5
1,
seconds.
2.
It's 60 seconds
3.
for 1 second. If
5.
seriously.
Oh, whoop.